Hi and welcome to Onside SA. Well, it's getting really interesting. We always start off with last one standing, then we go to the Fulham studio to speak to Stevie B, who runs the show from there. Budge. I've had so many phone calls, people, starting with Stevie B, but this wasn't a phone call, about putting Spurs and Spurs knocking everyone out. How many went out and how many are in?
Paul, you've got the list there. I didn't duplicate it, but 292 went through. I think 290 went out. Now, the irony of the whole thing, if Man United, who were very lucky, and Fulham, as Steve will tell us, were robbed at Chelsea, there'd have been 14 left if Chelsea and Man United had gone out.
Wow, 14?
Well, after 3 rounds, yeah.
Sure, well, that's why it's tough, but for the last one standing, it's very, very tough.
Some of those results I just didn't see.
I couldn't. I thought Spurs, they didn't even get a draw. I thought Forest looked like Man City. I thought definitely. Man City, at half-time you'd have thought it's going to be 6.
Yeah, it should have been 4.
Should have been 6. So look forward to them in 2 weeks, Budge. But let's talk about the guys that have gone through. And it's great to talk about. You've got some there, and I've got some internationals, Budge.
Yeah.
And these are the international people that we have going through so far. And is it John Rand or Dand?
It's John Dand. Yeah,
Dand,
it's Murray's son.
The Ireland. John Dand's in Ireland. Greg Bardnos in the Netherlands. Greg Petz is in Australia. Gary Grants in Portugal. Walter Luthi, Switzerland. Rainer Link, I think, is Austria.
Innsbruck,
Danny Cross, Tanzania. Tony Cass, Mauritius. Francois Dumi, Mauritius. Graham Hawkins, Mauritius, and Tate Statler in Namibia. Well, good spread.
Yeah, Paul, I've got a whole lot of guys that are in the Americas, and we'll start off with the Rustin clan of Ashley, Jonah, and Tony. They're all in Fort Lauderdale. Eric Narax in Seattle. Ross Marinkovitz in New Jersey. Mark Faries in Fort Lauderdale, according to his telephone number. Kevin's in the Caribbean on the yachts.
Yeah, they're on the boats.
And Andrew Rydell, Austin, Texas. Luca Link in Detroit. My brother Ian Byrne in New York State. Onionta and Nigel Kirby-Smith in New York City. So thanks again, guys. Paul, you've got the guys that deserve the picks there.
Yeah, certainly. So some guys came out the woodwork. The picks of the round 3, as you call it, Budge.
Some of them.
Eric Nyrek picked West Ham.
4-1, Paul.
The next one was Bournemouth 2. Graham Poisson.
37-10 they were.
Poisey, well done. And then Crystal Palace, Rob Ellis, fantastic. And Lionel Isaacs, he's now moved to Liverpool.
Yeah. Paul, they were 33-10 to win. That's why I named them all, Paul. And 15-10, the runner-up, Paul, I had to give them a mention because they were worthy of it.
On Sunderland.
Yeah,
definitely. And they just got there.
Lastminute.com.
Yeah, well, let's have a look at them. We've got Guy Berrichon, have I got that right?
One of Banner's boys.
One of Banner's, David Hensey.
Yeah.
Brett Galley, of course. And Clifford Graf. Graf. 17 ladies remain.
And by the way, the studio gang went through on Chelsea. So
they're still going to shoot. But
Mikhail,
it's amazing how 10% of the women always seem to go through.
Amazing. Your wife's still in, Paul, so
well, that's
show a bit of respect.
Yeah, I've got to keep very quiet. Right, and in the carryover competition, we can't get a winner, Budge.
Paul, I thought it was over. 0-0 Newcastle. They could still be playing. They would never have scored on Saturday night. And I watched the Forest game. For 70 minutes, it just looked like Forest. But West Ham sat deep. First shot they had on target, 1-0. Then Forest had to go, caught on the break with a penalty. I could never, ever have seen 3-0. But, Marco Govey and Ken Moby, we carry on, Paul. You know the rules.
Carry on. It's going to be
play
soon.
till there's a winner.
It's going to be soon. But, okay, that's last one standing. Obviously, international football this week. We won't be back until next Saturday, not this Saturday. And it'll give... Is Stevie B still in?
Spurs, Paul, they bury him every week, every competition.
But that's last one standing. It's going well. Only 190 odd left after week 3. Stevie B, are you about?
I am, I'm here.
You had a bad week, Steve. Fulham got robbed, Spurs stuck you out, and your cricket team were an embarrassment yesterday.
Good cricket team. Stevie.
It was a bad sporting few days.
Stevie, that first goal decision against you was really poor. Every pundit.
Shocking.
The sicky thing about it.
Consolation that Howard Webb, who's the chairman of the Professional Referees Association, basically said it was an error and apologised. But it's no consolation, is it? So what can you do?
Well, I suppose Liverpool was worse when they played Spurs and they gave him offside and he was 3 metres onside.
Yeah.
Do you remember? That's
we were at the game.
Oh, at
Colin
the game,
McCabe,
yeah. So we were cheering.
Yeah. All right, Steve, let's get the betting for the weekend. I know there are games on Thursday, but, you know, we can't do those. We're going to do the Friday games and we get the first game up. And Slovenia, Sweden, Steve, you think is, yeah.
Just before you start, Steve, I hope you're listening to this. I was listening to TalkSport.
Okay.
And Grimsby had signed a player 10 minutes too late. They knocked out Man United.
Yeah.
They got a 20,000 fine.
Throw them out.
They got a 20,000 fine.
Yeah.
It happened to a team, Peterborough. 16 seconds out. Cancelled the deal. It's just, it must be very strict.
Well, they won fair and square. It's not 20 minutes. We had 90 minutes to do something we never, so let's not blame them. Stevie, our first game up, you think Isaac will be starting for Sweden against Slovenia?
I suspect he will. Interesting to see whether he's quite sort of match fit because he's only really been training. Yeah. But I think he's too big a player for Sweden not to play. So I'd be surprised if he's not in the starting 11.
What do you think?
I watched him training.
Okay.
Isaac. Your career.
No, they've got players.
Hey, what about the boy who...
your man? Boy from Spurs?
Yeah, but that flying machine who left United, I think he's at Newcastle now. Ilanga.
Ilanga, yeah.
Gee, I just saw a few of them training. Yeah. They got some good players.
Yeah, well, they should win, but Slovenia is not the easiest place to play. I went both teams to score, I think there'll be goals.
Yeah, I think Sweden should win. I think you're right. But I think it will be close. Yeah. But I think Sweden should be favourites.
Yeah, just at the back, they're a bit woeful, Sweden. So I think Slovenia will score. I got this as a score draw, but wouldn't surprise me if Sweden do nick the victory. Switzerland should be too good for Kosovo, Steve?
Yeah, definitely. I'd expect them to be a comfortable home win.
Yeah. -1 handicap was even money, so that would be my suggestion on that. Good game, Denmark, Scotland, Steve. You know the Scots, the bigger the outsider, the better they play. I can see them scoring, but I just don't see them winning. Can you see them causing an upset?
I'm not sure they'll win, but as you say, they are capable of pinching a goal for sure. They've got players like Scott McTominay. If he continues that form he had at the end of last season for Napoli, I think they'll give Denmark a good game. But Denmark, for me, should still be favourites. Yeah,
I've got to fancy Denmark. But there again, Højlund will be starting up front, so you never know what is going to be happening with them. But I think there'll be goals in that particular game. Greece, Steve, I actually fancy the Greeks. I think they're not a bad team, but 1-5 to beat Belarus, it won't have my money, but surely they've got to be too good.
Yeah, I would think so. I think they should win that comfortably. As you say, no real value in that, but they should be clear winners. Yeah,
I mean, Greece to score over 2.5 goals was 12-10, so not for me there. Iceland, Azerbaijan, Steve. I can't believe Iceland. I know they had a decent start, but they did well in the Nations League. But 5-10 at home, I think is too short. Do you agree?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Azerbaijan don't travel particularly well. I would think this would be, for me, a home win. Not by many, but I think that they should be favourites, Iceland.
Yeah, I fancy Azerbaijan to score, which was even money, but fancy Iceland to win, both teams to score, yes, is 5-2. On to the second game, and you just never know what you're going to get, the French. This game has been played in Warsaw in Poland. 4-10 France, Steve. Emptying your wallet?
Yeah, France should be winning this, no question. I mean, the players they have at their disposal, would be surprising if they don't win.
Yeah, can you see the Ukraine scoring?
They're capable, I think so. But if they do, I still think France could win by at least 2.
Yeah, I looked at France over 3.5 goals was 2-1, but I think the Ukraine will score. So I went France to win, both teams to score, yes, at 24-10. Italy, who are had I wouldn't say a nightmare start. They've won one and lost one, but that 3-0 defeat could come back to haunt them when they lost 3-0 in Norway. But surely Estonia, mediocre side. You got to fancy the Italians, Steve?
Oh yeah, big time. I think that they'll be clear winners on this one.
Yeah, I looked to try and get value. The only thing I could find is Italy to win 2-0 was like 6-10. But other than that, it's a game to avoid. Moldova versus Israel, Steve.
Israel.
How do you see it?
Yeah, I mean, Moldova, not the worst team at home. I think Israel should be favourites.
Yeah.
These are the sort of games that you'd expect Israel to win, but they are pretty hit and miss at times. But I think that they may well just edge this one.
Yeah, Moldova, three games, 3 defeats, so hard to trust them. Croatia, a team I always fancy. I never catch them right. I took Croatia to win 2-0 at 8-10 here, Steve. I think it's a slightly better bet than Croatia -3 on the handicap. Can you see the Faroe Islands scoring though? That was my...
I don't think so. I think Croatia will win that 2-0.
Yeah, Faroe Islands last home game, they only beat Gibraltar 1-0, so Croatia all over for me. Next game, a team I could never catch, the Czech Republic. Montenegro got a few thugs at the back. A tight game in my opinion, Steve, but how do you see it?
Yeah, I think you're right. This is one of the few that is probably fairly close. I think the Czech Republic should be favourites, but if they do win, probably no more than by a goal.
Yeah, I took a chance in trusting Montenegro to score a goal, so 9.5 to 10 was my play, both teams to score. On to the final page that we do have, and Serbia, who play England at home on Tuesday, travel to Latvia, Steve. Comfortable away victory?
I think they'll win, and they'll be sort of get them warmed up for the big game against England. I think it'll be close. I don't think they'll win easily, but I think I do expect them to win by maybe 1 or 2.
All right. England, they're 1-100, but we couldn't fit it on the screen against Andorra. The question, how many goals can England score?
Well, they weren't overly impressive when they played in Andorra, so I think they will score a hatful, but I wouldn't think more than about 5, possibly 6 maximum.
All right. Well, this
England team.
Yeah.
This England team doesn't put teams to the sword, so I think maybe 5 or 6. They won't concede, and I think it'd be shocking if they do.
Yeah, now which way are you going to go, Steve? Because these are my suggestions. England, both teams to score over 1.5 goals. Sorry, over 1.5 goals in each half, 8-10. That's 4 goals. Over 4.5 total goals at 7-10. Or would you chance over 5.5 goals at 14-10? Which way would you go?
Goals.
I'd probably go with the 14-10. I think if they put their mind to it, they can do it. The only thing is, Thomas Tuchel might decide at say 4, he might start rotating a few players and giving some a bit of a run out. So you don't know, whether or not he's just going to go for goals, because the important thing is that if they do get themselves clear, he might want to take someone like Harry Kane off. Rest him for Tuesday. So England will win comfortably, but it's whether or not Thomas Tuchel thinks, right, I'm going to protect my key players for Tuesday and bring on some of the reserves. Yeah,
I think they'll score 6 or 7, but anyway, 5.5 I chance at 14-10. Armenia versus Portugal, 1-8 Portugal. Steve, what do you think? Yeah, I think it's be hard to bet against them. I think they'll win comfortably. Yeah, I don't see Armenia scoring. One thing about the Portuguese, they're quite tight at the back. I took 17-10, over 2.5 goals, both teams to score, no. I thought that was quite a decent price. Hard to take 1-8. The goal scorers, Ronaldo will score. He takes free kicks and corners and all sorts. There was no anytime goal scorer betting, but that was my suggestion. Over 2.5 goals, both teams to score, no. One of the competitive games on Saturday, and I think this is a certain over 4.5 bookings game, Republic of Ireland versus Hungary, Steve. But if you had to side with a team, which one? Yeah, I quite like Hungary. They have been a little bit up and down, but they got some decent players. Yeah. I think this could be a draw.
The Republic of Ireland just not the team they were.
Yeah.
So for me, I fancy a draw. I think Hungary could hold them.
Yeah, I just think there'll be panel beating, because one thing about those Republic of Ireland boys, they're going to have a full go. And the Hungarians, Kirkez, Zobazla, those guys, they've also got a few fireballs. So tight game. I went both teams to score even money, just for an interest. And last but not least, Steve, Austria too good for Cyprus?
1-12.
Yeah, they should be. They should be. Austria is sort of a decent side. I think that they'll win by a couple.
All right, on to the English League One, as the Championship and obviously Premiership are postponed because of the international call-ups. And first game up, Steve, Bolton against AFC Wimbledon. Bolton, good things?
14-10.
Yeah, I think they should be. They're having a sort of a bit of a mixed season.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people always fancy them, but AFC having a decent start. So I think this will be close, but I think Bolton at home should just be too strong.
Yeah.
Higher in the log.
Who said? Yeah, they are, yeah. But Bolton, decent side at home. They've drawn 4 of their 6 games. They played better teams too. I went Bolton to win over 2.5 total goals at 18-10. Doncaster, 12-10 at home against Bradford. Bradford unbeaten in 6, Steve. I think the betting should be a lot closer. What do you think?
I think you're right. I mean, they're both having a good season. Doncaster won 4, Bradford won 4. So I think that this could be a close game. Bit of a derby, obviously, at South Yorkshire against Yorkshire. So I think this would be close. Wouldn't be surprised if it ends the score draw.
Yeah, of the two sides, I fancy Bradford there. I think 21-10 is not a bad price. Huddersfield, 3 home wins in a row. Too good for a Peterborough team. I can't believe it. Struggling. They've only got 1 point out of 6, Steve. Comfortable home win?
I think it will be. Peterborough really having a disappointing season. They're normally there or thereabouts at some point, but not this year. So for me, home win.
Yeah, I went Huddersfield to win by more than 1 goal at 12-10. That's my suggestion. Lincoln versus Wigan. Steve, I was going to go under 2.5 goals, but that was 1-3, so I avoided that. I think this has got 1-1 written all over it. I saw 7-1. If I am going to have a bet, I may have a lazy few rand on there. But what do you think about the game?
Yeah, I think it will be close. I think if there was to be a winner, I'd probably plump for Lincoln, but I think it will be close.
All right, on to our second page in League One. And Plymouth, can't believe it, terrible start. They got relegated. Stockport County, several of the tipsters tipped them to get promoted, Steve. That's why the betting is 12-10. Lost 5 or 6, Plymouth. Can you see them getting a result here?
Yeah, the funny side. I mean, I think we really thought they would have a decent season, but they've had one win, and 5 defeats, I think it is. So hard to sort of bet to think that they're going to win. Stockport having a good season. So for me, this one could go either way. I think if Plymouth finds some form, they could. But Stockport having a very good season. So I think they could be they could cancel each other out.
Yeah, I think this has got score draw written all over it. So I went both teams to score is a good thing here. Port Vale, Leyton Orient, Steve.
Did you see the Port Vale goal last night?
No, I didn't. That was in
from about 30 yards out.
League trophy.
Yeah,
what you want to get home?
Goal.
Yeah, well, Port Vale having a poor season. They are. They're not doing at all well. So Leyton Orient, holding their own, having sort of going up a division. So I fancy Leyton Orient. I think they could get something.
Yeah, the only thing is Port Vale, I just added when I wrote it down, the 3 teams at home they've played, Cardiff are top of the league, Stevenage are second, and Doncaster are third. Whoa. So they've caught it all wrong early on. I agree, Steve. I think this has got 26-10. Obviously, I think that's the right bet here, the draw in that particular game. Rotherham at home against Exeter City, Steve. I fancy the home team. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think that they should be too strong at home. I think, for me, they should win that.
Yeah, I'm going to make it my best bet until I found something on Sunday. And last but not least, Wycombe Wanderers against Mansfield Town. Is Nigel Clough still there?
Yeah.
The Stags of Mansfield. Which way are you going?
Wycombe are having a shocking start to the season. Haven't 2 points, 4 defeats. Mansfield just seem to have found a bit of form. I think there's some value in that, so I'm going to go for an away win.
All right, Steve. I took another chance, not having watched them 9-10, both teams to score. Steve, pressure time as always. I need your best bet and value bet, even though I think I know who you're going for.
Spit it out.
Well, there's very little value in some of those World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with my best. I'm actually going to go for Rotherham.
Yeah.
I think that they should be too strong. Away, my value bet. I was tempted to go for Plymouth, but I'm not sure. Too unpredictable. I'm going to go for Mansfield Town. I think they're having on a little bit of a run, and I think they're scoring goals. So I think there's maybe some value in those odds.
Yeah, my high school. Yeah, Steve, I had a look because I looked at the internationals and I can't believe on Sunday, Poland are at home to Finland, and they were like 7.5 to 10. I just thought that was a misprice, but it wasn't. It was correct. Said I haven't watched much of the English League One. I agree with you on Rotherham, but Huddersfield at 5 to 10. But you can't make that a good thing. And my value bet was Bradford. Good start to the season. Not really in love with Doncaster.
I would take the double, Steve. Take the double. Listen to the Shruti. You take whatever money you got, you double it. You take France to win, you take Huddersfield to win, it works out at 11 to 10. There's your double.
You heard that, Steve?
Yeah.
And
or you could put a lot of money on England and just get a few pennies back. But you
take the quad.
Got to double your money, Steve.
Fulham to concede another penalty in your next game. Make it 4 in a row, Steve.
Yeah.
I'll actually have a bet, find out what price a penalty will be against you next week. But
we keep conceding. But
who do you play, Steve?
So our next league game is home Saturday week, home to Leeds.
Ooh, that'll be a bit feisty.
Yeah, it should be a tight game.
I've been impressed with your start, Steve. That Josh.
Steve, when's your next cricket game? Tomorrow.
Every other day. So it's a day off. It's a day off for England to compose it. They gave a debut to a young bowler who did quite well in the 100, Sonny Baker, and they absolutely slaughtered him. Whether or not they'll play him again, but for his confidence, he conceded.
They'll bring in the other little guy, the left-hander.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve.
It's
All
only
the
one
best.
game, Steve.
Hope
Steve.
your weather changes.
Talk to you guys.
Cheers,
Bye.
Steve.
Enjoy the
Bye-bye.
monsoon. Yeah, on to CAF. Big week for us, Paul.
Big week. Now, I want you just to fill me in. I've got the log. This is to go into the World Cup.
World Cup, automatic.
Automatic. So South Africa have got 13 points with how many games to play?
4 games left.
Okay. Now, they've got 2 games this week.
Only Nigeria can finish above us.
Have Nigeria played the same amount of games so far?
Yeah.
7 points of 6 games?
No, Paul, they've drawn too many. They drew their 3
So if
home
we can
games.
draw with them, it's a strength.
Well, if we beat Lesotho, the game's in Bloemfontein.
Okay,
that's this week.
But we beat Lesotho, and then who have Nigeria got?
They've got Rwanda at home, so they'll beat them. We'll go through it now. There's no betting, unfortunately, Paul.
Okay.
We'll go through it now.
Yeah, let's
but
do
just
that.
for Bafana, Paul, I did the group. If we draw with Nigeria, we're almost there.
Yeah.
As long as we beat Lesotho.
If we beat them, we'll be there.
Well, we will be there, Paul, yeah.
Okay, let's have a look at the games, bud.
Yeah, Paul, first one up, we got Kenya. You can see the time. It starts at 3 o'clock on Saturday. Friday, apologies. Paul, of the 2 sides, I fancy Kenya. Both of them have really struggled. Kenya have only won 1 of 6, while Gambia also, away from home, they've lost all 3, but the betting will be short. Namibia, Paul, let's shoot Peter Shililele, the guy that plays for Sundowns. I can't believe he can't start. They're going well. They're second, unbeaten in 6. If you want to have a bet on Friday, Paul, that's the team to back. They score goals.
Who's that? Namibia?
Namibia, they can play.
We're done with the betting, eh?
Unfortunately, there were games tomorrow that came out, but no Friday betting, so we're going to have to wait. Benin, Zimbabwe, those are in our group. Benin should beat Zimbabwe, but you never know with Zimbabwe. Away from home, they tend to play better than at home. Lesotho, South Africa, Paul, I think this is a 3-4-0 job.
Are you that confident?
Yeah, Paul. Yeah, Lesotho aren't too good. We're a decent team, Paul.
Yeah.
We don't get beat too often, and I think we're playing in Bloem.
Yeah, that game.
That game's in Bloem. Lesotho across the mountains, they play all their games. They used to play in Durban, but now they'll be going to
Flower Fountain.
Yeah, Flower Fountain. Now we'll beat them there. Uganda, Paul, against Mozambique. Mozambique going well. They've won 4, lost 2 of their 6. Uganda hard to beat at home. If ever a game's got 0-0 written all over it, that's the game. Egypt, Ethiopia, having a look at the squad. Mamouche is playing, Salah's playing. So,
got any good ones?
Nah, Paul, all local players or players in lesser leagues. But Egypt, they don't get beat at home. And, you know, they won automatic. So, you know, you've got to expect Egypt to win. Ivory Coast as well, looking at the squad, Amad Diallo from United, that Wilfred Saha's in the team. They stack, Paul.
Yeah.
Ivory Coast, good
Wilfred
team.
Saha, will he still play high league football?
He was playing in Turkey last time was there. So he'll be going well. Burundi, no chance. And Morocco, Paul, they did great in the last World Cup.
Very good.
Top team, you know, Hakimi, Ziyech and all the guys. Niger, struggling away from home, no chance. Senegal as well, I had a look at the team. Mane, you know, the two Sars, one from Spurs, one from Crystal Palace.
They'll roll them.
They'll roll Sudan and Nigeria, Paul. They beat Rwanda 2-0 at home. So these will all be 1-5, 1-6, 1-7. So unfortunately, from a betting side of it, you know, there's not really much to have a dip on.
Good to watch.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's hope South Africa win. We need to get the win at Bloemfontein.
This is the best side we've had for a while, Paul. Well organised.
How many players have we got from...
6 Sundowns, 6 Pirates. And then we got Lyle Foster, played for Burnley.
Does he come out and played? Walked around the keeper well the other day, and they didn't give him the goal. Okay, give me your best bets in there.
Paul, we'll do the exotics first. Unfortunately, there's no soccer 13 because the Swedes haven't sent it. Okay. But we'll start with the first soccer 6, and I'm banking Austria to beat Cyprus. I'm chancing Hungary to avoid defeat in the Republic of Ireland. Bosnia-Herzegovina should be a certainty to beat San Marino. Malaga win and draw in the Spanish Segunda Division and ending up with 2 fields. Estoril against Santa Clara from Portugal and the USA in a friendly at home against South Korea. 2-1-6. On to the second soccer 6, which is the English one. I'm chancing Bolton Wanderers to beat AFC Wimbledon. Crewe Alexandra win and draw at Colchester, and Bradford City win and draw at Doncaster Rovers. Going with Port Vale, win and draw at home against Leicester City, and ending up with 2 away win and draws. Chesterfield at Walsall and Mansfield Town at Wycombe Wanderers, 192. Okay. On to the soccer 10 for Saturday, going for Swindon Town, win and draw at Barrow. Going for Bolton Wanderers to beat AFC Wimbledon. Crewe Alexandra win and draw at Colchester, and Bradford City win and draw at Doncaster Rovers. And I fancy Huddersfield Town, good things to beat Peterborough at home. Onto the second page, I'm going Lincoln City win and draw against Wigan Athletic. Stockport County win and draw at Plymouth Argyle. Chancing Port Vale to avoid defeat at home against Leyton Orient. I think Rotherham United will be too good at home for Exeter City. And Mansfield Town again win and draw against Wycombe Wanderers, 256. On to our budgies bets for the weekend. I'm going, this is the Friday World Cup qualifier. I'm going Croatia to win 2-0 against the Faroe Islands. Over 2.5 goals. Both teams to score yes. Denmark, Scotland and France to beat the Ukraine, and both teams to score yes. 2,700 to 200.
Well, the Ukraine are out?
Yeah, they've got players, Paul. Yeah,
okay.
Zinchenko and they've got players all over, but they can score, I think. The French always concede as well. On to Saturday, my World Cup bet is over 2.5 goals. Both teams to score no in the Armenia versus Portugal clash. Chancing over 5.5 total goals. England against Andorra at 14-10, and over 2.5 total goals in the Ireland-Hungary fixture, 2,600 to 200. My both teams to score sides are Iceland, Azerbaijan, Montenegro, the Czech Republic, Slovenia, Sweden, and Ireland, Hungary, 2,600 to 200. On to the English League One. I'm going Bolton Wanderers to beat AFC Wimbledon and over 2.5 total goals. I'm going Huddersfield Town to beat Peterborough by more than 1 goal and over 2.5 total goals in the Plymouth versus Stockport game, 2,100 to 200. Both teams to score sides in the English League One are Lincoln, Wigan Athletic, Port Vale, Leyton Orient, Rotherham, Exeter City, and Wycombe, Mansfield Town, 2,400 to 200. Now, Collis King 6 or Nexa. I'm going Croatia to beat the Faroe Islands, France to beat the Ukraine, Bolton Wanderers to beat Peterborough, Huddersfield Town to beat AFC Wimbledon. I'm going Poland to beat Finland on Sunday. That was 7-10. And Spain to beat Turkey also on Sunday at 7-10 as well, those odds. So 2,200 to 200. There's just too many 1 to 30s and ones had to look for a little bit of flair.
No, you've got to to play with a bit of flair. And Budge, straight after that, we're going to next week where we get back on track.
You know,
back
I'll notify everybody on Monday, all the guys that are through, and send my condolences. Unfortunately, the guys that went out.
Yeah, geez, enough of us. Well, until next time, stay on side.